Today we're talking about SpaceX's fifth flight test. This test marks a crucial step in SpaceX's mission to revolutionize space travel, all under the leadership of none other than Elon Musk.
Everyone thought it would be funny if we made the rocket more pointy, so we did.
So buckle up as we break down what went right, what went wrong, and, of course, the mind-blowing moment when MECHAZILLA caught the rocket booster. Let's jump in. Alright, let's start with the basics. The fifth flight test of SpaceX was all about pushing the limits of their Starship system. For those new here, Starship is designed to be a fully reusable spacecraft capable of carrying humans to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. And, of course, this is all part of SpaceX's bigger vision, spearheaded by Elon Musk, who has some pretty bold goals for humanity's future in space. This particular test flight involved a high-altitude test of the Starship prototype and the first attempt to have MECHAZILLA, SpaceX's giant robotic launch tower, actually catch the Super Heavy booster on its return to Earth. This is a huge deal because catching and reusing these boosters is central to making space travel more affordable and sustainable. So what happened during the test? The Starship prototype lifted off from SpaceX's facility in Boca Chica, Texas. The launch, powered by the Super Heavy booster and its 33 Raptor engines, was as epic as you'd expect from a SpaceX mission. The engines provide millions of pounds of thrust, pushing the rocket into the sky. After reaching its planned altitude, the Starship shut off its engines and began its controlled descent. But what really had people on the edge of their seats was the booster recovery. Instead of using traditional landing legs like we've seen with the Falcon 9, this time SpaceX was testing something even more ambitious, using MECHAZILLA, their launch tower equipped with robotic arms, to catch the booster. Let's talk about MECHAZILLA. This towering structure is designed to catch the returning Super Heavy booster midair as it comes back to Earth, eliminating the need for landing legs altogether. During this test, as the booster completed its mission and headed back down, it slowed down using a combination of controlled burns and precision guidance. And then, right on cue, MECHAZILLA's robotic arms moved into position. With almost surgical precision, it caught the booster. This is a huge leap forward in reusable rocket technology. If they can perfect this, SpaceX will be able to rapidly refuel and reuse the boosters, cutting down turnaround time between launches dramatically. Now, let's break down the wins and challenges of this flight. First, the ascent was flawless. The Super Heavy booster did its job, lifting the Starship prototype to the required altitude, and the Starship itself performed its descent with the iconic belly flop maneuver that SpaceX has been perfecting. But the real highlight of this test was the booster recovery. MECHAZILLA catching the booster was a monumental success. It's something straight out of science fiction, but now it's becoming a reality. However, there were still some challenges with the Starship's landing. Just like previous tests, Starship didn't land as smoothly as SpaceX would have liked. One of the engines didn't produce enough thrust, which caused a harder than expected landing. While the vehicle remained mostly intact, there was still some damage to work on. So, why does all this matter? SpaceX, under Elon Musk's ownership, is constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space travel. With each test flight, they're refining the Starship system to be fully reusable, which is key to making space exploration cheaper, faster, and more sustainable. If they can reliably catch boosters using MECHAZILLA and perfect Starship's landing capabilities, we're talking about missions to Mars becoming not just possible, but routine. Remember, this isn't just about reaching orbit. SpaceX is working closely with NASA on the Artemis program, which aims to land humans on the Moon again. And beyond that, Musk's vision is to create a multiplanetary species with a future on Mars. It's exciting to see how every test, even when things don't go perfectly, brings us one step closer to that vision. Now, let's take a closer look at the technology that made this test possible. SpaceX's Raptor engines are key to this entire process. They run on methane and liquid oxygen, making them far more efficient and sustainable than traditional rocket engines. This is especially important because Elon Musk plans to use resources from other planets, like Mars, to refuel Starship on long missions. It's part of the vision to make the spacecraft truly self-sustaining. Also, let's not forget the heat shield technology on Starship. Re-entering Earth's atmosphere at high speeds generates extreme heat, and these tiles are designed to protect the spacecraft during that critical phase. We saw this tech in action during the descent, and while there were no major failures this time, SpaceX is constantly tweaking the shield's design to make it more durable for future missions to Mars. With this test in the books, what's next for SpaceX? Well, they're already working on orbital flight tests for Starship, which is the next big milestone. The idea is to get Starship into orbit, and eventually bring it back down safely, fully reusable, of course. Not to mention, Elon Musk's plans for sending Starship on missions to the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program are coming up fast. Beyond the moon, the goal is still Mars. Musk has said that he wants to send humans to Mars in the next decade, and every test like this brings SpaceX closer to making that vision a reality. It's a huge, complex challenge, but with every successful test of Starship and Super Heavy, we're getting a glimpse of the future of interplanetary travel. That's a wrap for today's breakdown of SpaceX's fifth flight test. From the launch to the epic MECHAZILLA catch, it's clear that SpaceX is making history one test at a time. What did you think about the booster catch? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're as pumped about the future of space travel as I am, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars. Thanks for watching, astrostream.x. Comment your favorite thing about SpaceX's fifth flight test. For more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.